Oh my god, it's been a while. Hey guys, it has been a minute since my last video. Those of you who are seeing this because you subbed, you're probably like, who is this girl and how did she get here? So, and those of you who are on a YouTube deep dive and find this, hi, I'm Felicia. And 2 years ago, I made a video about my experiences living with bipolar 2. I had been diagnosed for just about a year at that point. And so I have had my diagnosis for just under 4 years at this point. I have felt that I have been bipolar for much longer than that, but I did get my official diagnosis from a professional back in 2016, 17, around there. When I made my video 2 years ago, I really wanted to start a channel where I talked about bipolar 2, living with it, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, because there's a lot of all three. And, you know, maybe like dealing with medication and stuff like that in a way that it's not just a professional giving you their like recommendations and like what the textbook tells them. Just being like a normal person sharing their life with you. So here we are 2 years later. There's a lot that's happened in the past 2 years. One is that my hair is way longer now. And I really need a haircut. And that is one of the like least exciting things that's happened. So the reason I stopped making YouTube videos is because when I made my video 2 years ago, I had just started medication and I thought it was making me stable. And my therapist at the time, who I'd been seeing for almost like just under a year, well no, just over a year because she's the one who diagnosed me, had an emergency and had to move away. And I didn't get to say goodbye. It was really sudden, and her boss, the owner of the practice, is the one who told me about it. So I sent her a text wishing her well, and I never got a response. And I was put with another therapist, but I only had one session with her before I found out that I got a scholarship to go study in Australia for 6 weeks. Which was very cool. But what happened was I figured, I guess like the shock of not having my therapist anymore, and the medication I was on was really expensive because they don't have a generic. I'm not gonna say what it was because I don't want you to think that I like am against it. It just wasn't right for me. I decided that I was gonna go off it. And I quit cold turkey, which is not what you're supposed to do when you are on medication. So I quit cold turkey and then went to Australia. While I was in Australia, this triggered a massive hypomanic episode. I was all over the place. I was being really reckless. I was spending a lot of money. I had a great time. I loved it, I'm not gonna lie, but it was definitely a wild time for me. And then when I got back, my partner picked me up from the airport, and pretty much like the second I got in the car, I was like, I have to move to Australia. I want to go back right now. And he was a little bit confused. He was like, what are you talking about? Like, you were only supposed to go for like a month or two. And I was like, no, I need to move back. And I felt in my heart of hearts there was nothing in this world that I needed to do more than move to Australia. And this was one of the biggest signs that I was having a hypomanic episode, because I love living in New York City. I love my boyfriend, and I love my dogs, and I love my apartment. I love living here, and I loved my job before the pandemic, and I got laid off. But yeah, I love like my education. I was right in the middle of school, but none of that mattered anymore. I had to move to Australia. And I told him, you know, like, we can try to make it work, but, you know, like, I understand if you don't want to be together anymore. And we'd been together for 3 years at this point. He had seen me throughout my whole journey with bipolar. He was with me before my diagnosis. And he was just super taken aback. He knew something was wrong pretty much right away. All of 2019 is a massive blur to me. I don't really remember because I was pretty much hypomanic for all of it. Fortunately, we had a lease on our apartment that he couldn't afford on his own, so that pretty much kept me here. And I literally like didn't go back to school. Like all I did was work and concern everyone around me. I didn't do anything too crazy, but just my behavior in general was very like not like me at all. So fast forward. That was 2019. That's why I disappeared for 2019. Fast forward to January 2020, before everything went to shit. In January 2020, I found my current therapist, who is, after I've gone through 6, she is my therapy soulmate. She is amazing. She understands me on every level. I've called her in crisis before and she's been there for me. And, you know, I never overstep my boundaries because I understand that she's also a person, but I really have needed her maybe once or twice since January, and she's always been there. I love her. Like, not in a weird way. Just, like, I think she's fantastic at her job. So, I basically told her, you know, I need to go back on medication. I can't do this alone. I have been, you know, like, concerning a lot of people. The depression and the hypomania were going back and forth. I dropped out of school again. It was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. And because of healthcare in this country, I had to wait a really long time to get back into therapy. Fortunately, I did, and like I said, I met my therapist, who I love very much, and I was able to get back on medication in February, which, again, was right before everything fell apart. And I was put on 2 different medications. I'll talk about them maybe in another video if you guys are interested, but that's kind of like a whole thing. And they initially gave me some weird side effects. I wasn't sure if they were working, but of course you have to give it a couple months or a couple weeks. And they pretty much changed my life. I have maybe done a 180 from 2019, from January 2019 to January, no, let's say February, March 2019 to February, March 2020. It was like I was a completely different person, but in a really good way. I went back to school. I went to therapy once a week. I still go once a week, sometimes twice if I'm going through something really hard. I am very consistent with my meds. I take my meds every single day. They're super duper cheap through my insurance. Thankfully, I'm very fortunate to have good insurance. And yeah, I am so grateful that I was able to get the resources that I needed and that I had a really strong support system to help me through some truly batshittery is the only way I could describe it. True batshittery. If you guys are watching this video, I'm sure you've been through similar things. And I just want you to know that it's okay and you can get help. And there's a lot of resources. I think I might talk about them in another video that can help you even if you don't have insurance or if your insurance is not that great. There are resources. This country makes it harder than it should, but they're there. And I'm happy to give people resources. I give my friends a lot of resources. I've given classmates resources. I love helping people get into a place mentally that they feel comfortable. So then the pandemic happened and I lost my job and all I had was school. So fortunately, I had a lot of money saved up because when I was hypomanic, I worked all the time and made a lot of money because my job requires me to be very friendly and talkative. So that actually worked out really well for me. And then when I was depressed, I cut my hours down and was still able to go to work and do what I had to do. So I decided I was going to take a break from working and focus on school, which is what I've done since March. I ended up getting my dream internship recently, which has been really cool. And there is no way I would have been able to do that unmedicated. I would have never had the initiative. I would have never had the responsibility. No way. I was so all over the place. It was just, you know. So my meds really have changed my life. My grades are amazing. I'm very consistent. I can get work done, which is a big deal for me. And another big thing that happened was that I was diagnosed with PTSD as a comorbidity with my bipolar 2, as well as, like I said in my last video, I had obsessive intrusive thoughts, which the medication has really helped with. And it's gotten me out of a really, really, really dark place. So that's why I am in a place to make this video now. I've been on my current dose of meds. I've had it bumped up a couple times. I've been on my current dose of meds for 6 months now, and it is life-changing. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. To people who are scared of medication, to people who have not had the best experiences, I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what's right. Only you know what's right for you. But I know there's a lot of stigma, and this is what was right for me, and I'm really happy I did it. So let's see what else. We moved. That was exciting. Moving in New York City sucks. And I am really happy with how things turned out. And I think if I would have moved to Australia all by myself with not that much money, it probably would have ended really badly. And I would have left everyone I love and care about, which probably would have also ended badly. So I'm really glad that my support system was able to see something was wrong and get me where I needed to be where I am today. So I'm really hoping I can be consistent with this now and make some more videos. If you guys want to like talk about anything, if you want me to talk about anything specific, maybe like what my dark times were, what like the highs and lows of that crazy year, the highs and lows of this year, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to talk about medication in a way that is not professional, and I'm not giving you medical advice. I'll just talk about my experiences. So please let me know what you want to see. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'm glad that people are still interested in what I have to say 2 years down the line. I read every single comment, and I love that there's people in the comments talking to each other, and I love that there's this like itty bitty community of people who understand what they're going through, and I want to grow that community so that you don't feel alone, because I think not feeling alone is one of the best things you can do when you have mental illness, especially one like bipolar 2 that a lot of people don't even know exists. So I'm gonna end this video because I am rambling because I did not write a script. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this helps someone out there, and if you have gone through a lot with, you know, this illness or another disorder, I wish you nothing but the best. I hope that you can get the help you need, and I hope that I can help you too. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the video now. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys soon, for real this time. I'll talk to you later. Bye.